What's up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 44 of the Ball Talk Pod, bringing you our shortest pod of our entire existence. Because I think we're still waiting for Game 3 to start, because whatever I watched last night was not Thunder basketball.
That was the farthest thing from Thunder basketball I've ever seen. They got shit pumped. Sorry to all the fans out there.
It was really bad.
It was terrible. They put us in a gimp suit, ball gagged us, and made us like it. They dominated us.
From the get-go.
From the get-go. And it was like, at one point it was like 9-13, and then it was 11-33. I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Well, and like at one point, Thunder start up 4-0, running good action. One of the first bucket was a lob to Hartenstein. We get the ball back a third time. Dub misses a three in the corner, which when he shot that, I was like, are we about to run away with this thing? Little did I know, the runaway was correct. It was just by which team was doing the action of running away. Because then, the Thunder were down 20 after one. Terrence Shannon Jr., who hadn't even played the first two games, came in, scored 15 points, 9 of them, I think, in the second quarter, which was when the game was still trying to be played. The second half almost was just not basketball.
Well, when we went on an 11-0 run and got it down to 21 or 18 or something.
We got it to 22 early in the third.
And it felt if they're going to make a little run, if we can keep this run and get it to 15 by the fourth quarter, you feel like you've had a chance and you've shown something to that defense where it's they can't, we've run enough action at something that might work against it, right? But it just, they came back with the 20-something-0 run against us again. They couldn't miss. Randall was playing with a lot more aggression. So, I don't know. There's not much to say about it besides we got dominated on all facets of the game. Energy, aggression.
When recapping this game, we were texting about it a little bit. There's not a lot to be said. The Thunder blew out Denver in Game 2 last series, and Denver came back and won Game 3. The margin of victory has nothing to do with the series record. It's still 2-1. It feels almost like a loser mentality to say that because they did get their asses whipped in this game. But if you go and take care of business on Monday night and win, all you wanted to do at worst is go take one in Minnesota. Sweep would have been crazy. You'd start getting a lot of talks about what this team actually is. And I think, honestly, the talks of that are a bit premature already because some people were already handing this team the title, and they are far and away the favorites to do so. But they're not there yet. The Wolves are a great basketball team. They made adjustments. The biggest one that people kept noticing, especially the broadcast, is that they didn't pick Shea up until about 35 feet away from the basket compared to 45 and 46 in games 1 and 2. And so if you're picking Shea up that high on the court, he has more room to break you down and get to his spots. Whereas if he's the shot that they were giving him last night that he either took and didn't hit or didn't want to take was more of his above the break 3-point shot, which we know he can hit that, but it's just not the shot that he takes to get going and get in a rhythm.
It's not his most consistent shot, for sure.
For sure. And the Wolves made adjustments, and you knew that was coming. And I think, everyone that I've talked to about this, and we've talked about it a little bit, it's not like you kind of expected to lose. If you were going to lose a game, Game 3, especially being down 2-0, you knew they'd be desperate. They were going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You knew this was going to be the game. But you knew that intensity was going to be there. You knew how desperate they were going to be. And we came out fine. Obviously, like you said, it was 13-9.
It was sloppy, though. Turnover after turnover.
But that's as soon as that happened, and Shea was mic'd up. They had a clip of him talking about it before. They've released it since the game's over. But he's like, listen, they hit their shots. We didn't. And they came out with more physicality, more energy. And we didn't match it. And so it's the Thunder know what they have to do. They the Minnesota played how I think everyone thought they were going to play in games 1 and 2, especially on the defensive side in terms of shading over and showing 2 and 3 guys to Shea instead of leaving McDaniels on an island, who's a good defender, but you're going up against the MVP. So it's going to be interesting to see what Mark and the guys do for tomorrow's game to offset what they're doing. I think one of the big things is that they were ramped up, ready to go. They shot it great. For the love of all that is holy and pure, can we please just have an average shooting game on the road?
It's bonkers
Just
that this
once
team
in this
shot
playoff.
like 37% from 3-pointer over the course of the season, and away games on the road, or that's the same thing, on the road in the playoffs, they've shot abysmal, just abysmally. It's whether they're too amped up, they're not like in the flow, I don't know, but everyone around has just shot abysmal on the road. And you got to make shots to win the game, and you got to have the right intensity. There's a lot for the Thunder to fix, kind of the same way people thought there was a lot for the Wolves to fix after game 1 and 2. And so you want to go and split. You have a chance on Monday to go win one and put this loss behind you, because it doesn't matter, like we talked about in the beginning, it doesn't matter that they won by 43 points. We're not down 43 points going into game 4. It's 0-0. This mentality the Thunder has talked about all year. Whether they win or lose, it's 0-0. Getting back to 0-0 might be a little more difficult after losing by 43 points. And so that's going to take some maturity. And we've seen them mature over a long span of this playoff, especially in that Minnesota or in that Denver series. And we just need to see it again. And I don't know why we continually not doubt this team, but question this team's ability to bounce back. In my head, after a 43-point loss, it's easy to question this team's resolve.
Yeah, we did all the Denver series, and they haven't given us any reason to think they won't bounce back. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt until they don't, because hypothetically, even if you lose Monday, it's 2-2 and it's a best of 3 series, and you have 2-0. That was why it was so big to win the first 2. But if you can go up 3-1, the mental gymnastics the Wolves have to do. I mean, Thunder fans are scarred by the 3-1 record series or series record, but everything's on the table. I still think, the Wolves showed, they're not just a pushover, which we knew that. It would have been crazy if they had done that. But they have an opportunity to go in tomorrow night, right the wrong, and have a chance to clinch Game 5. But you just have to bounce back. They've never done anything this year that makes me think that they won't. And, obviously it's disappointing that it was a 43-point loss. And there was some stat going around that no champion has ever lost a postseason game by 40-plus points. Like, no one has.
But then they said the 2024 Celtics lost by 38 in the finals. And then someone else in 2018 lost by 39 or something. So it's like.
Exactly. You're making up the number.
Right. It's a irrelevant stat at that point.
Yeah.
What's four more points?
We pulled our starters halfway through the third quarter, and theirs played most of the rest of the quarter. And so it's like, that literally means nothing. And like if we go on and win the championship, and they're like, oh, like let's say a team loses by 45 next year, that's the title favorite. They're like, well, no team's ever won by 40 or lost by 45. So it's tough, but they just have to bounce back. That's kind of the summary of this podcast. Just that it was disappointing. Would have loved to have been up 3-0, but go up 3-1 tomorrow night. Show some resolve, and everything's on the table.
Even if you don't go up, you need to make it a close game. Make them, don't let them blow you out again. Find a way to attack that. Don't make your shots and make it tougher so that they don't have all this confidence coming back to Oklahoma City.
Yeah. So bottom line, and I think the last thing I'll say before we move out, and all the they've done their practice today, and they had media responsibilities. So there were a couple interviews, and like the vibe was like Minnesota played great, but if we take care of what we have to take care of, everything's going to be fine. Like we let that happen. And part of that is true. Minnesota went and took it. You can't deny it at all. But how we responded, what we did, we didn't adjust quickly to how they were playing and their energy and effort. If the Thunder go in and take that mindset, you like their chances tomorrow night.
They need to be desperate tomorrow. And I think that losing by 43 makes you feel a little bit desperate, even though you're up 2-1, right? We're up in the series 2-1, and we feel desperate, like we need this win, right? Don't you?
Absolutely.
just
Absolutely.
because we lost by 45 or 43. So that begs the question, did the Wolves make a mistake by beating us that bad? Should they have kept it close so that we would have not like gone in and be like, shh, we need to like kind of, refocus? That's the question I'm asking myself.
Yeah. And the audio kind of got a little crazy there. So, um,
Well, you want me to
what's the
ask it
question you're
again?
asking?
With
Yeah.
Did the Wolves do the wrong thing by beating us so bad? Should they have kept it closer, made it like a 15-point game or a 20-point win instead of 43, a blowout loss, and make us feel desperate when we're up in the series? That's the question I'm asking myself. It's a stupid
Yeah.
question to ask. It's a mental gymnastics sort of move that I'm trying to make myself feel better about getting rocked.
It's the playoffs, man. The roller
Yeah.
coasters of the playoffs. And we went through it in 7 games with Denver, and it felt like we were going to get through it rather easily after the first 2 games of the Western Conference Finals. But unfortunately, that's just not how it's going to happen. And you got to bounce back Monday night, bottom line.
Got to bounce back. Got to show you got to stand up and beat your chest a little bit and show you're not scared. Get back off the ground after getting knocked out.
Yep. That's the
It's
plan. J-Dub's got to get back to the buffet, man. He's got to get back to the
Yes.
Vegas buffet.
Yes.
But I think with that, I don't have anything else to talk
Yeah,
about
there's
with
not
this
much to
game.
talk
It
about
sucked.
the game.
Bottom line, it sucked. Bounce back Monday night. We'll be back to recap Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Enjoy your Memorial Day, everybody. We appreciate y'all for listening, and we'll talk to you then. See you.
See ya.